Welcome to another episode of the Presale Pulse, a channel that is dedicated to helping you understand everything happening in real estate across Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. And if you're new to the channel, the Presale Pulse is all about recapping both the presale and the resale marketplace over the past 30 days. I'm Ryan Lalonde.
And I'm Brittany Reimer.
Our goal, our singular purpose with our time today is to ensure that all of our subscribers feel like they have their fingers on the pulse and become real estate intelligent. And we're here to ensure that our viewers understand the full picture of what's happening in the Fraser Valley marketplace. So the leaves are falling, people are going apple picking, pumpkin spice lattes are back at Starbucks, and we're officially into fall. So the Fraser Valley saw near record sales in September, even as inventory limits overall market activity. Britt, what can you tell us about what the last few months have looked like in the marketplace in the Fraser Valley?
Yeah, right. I mean, given where the market's at right now, it actually feels like more of a spring market. Less the inventory, of course, because we know we have none of that. Thankfully, we still have runny noses and frosty windshields to remind us that it is actually fall and kids are back to school and we're all kind of feeling it. We have a big episode ahead. Let's jump right into the agenda for today. Before we do that, we have to acknowledge we're here today. We're in the Block Presentation Center, located right in the heart of downtown Vancouver. Incredible space. If you haven't been here, you have to come check it out. They've had incredible demand. They've also had a very successful campaign over the last 60 days.
Brittany, you're absolutely right. Sales started about 60 days ago. It's been an incredible outcome to date. And if you haven't already done so, make sure that you're checking out some of the links below. We have a spotlight on the downtown core hosted by both myself and Cameron McNeil. We also have the Real Estate Podcast where we talk extensively about what you can expect in the downtown core and what we think that future is going to look like.
So let's jump right into the agenda for today. We're talking sales in the Fraser Valley, unrelenting. We'll talk about pre-sale and highlight some of the upcoming projects preparing to launch this month. We'll also give an update on those pre-sale projects that we spoke about last month. And finally, we'll take a deep dive into the resale stats and give our viewers a better idea of what we're seeing in the resale market. So before we dive into the pre-sale projects, I want to quickly touch on some of the projects we covered last month. First on the list was Melrose in Surrey. They had a really impressive launch in late September, selling 221 homes in just a matter of days. This project definitely benefited from the smaller format units, which we did highlight in last month's episode. So if you're looking to recap that, check out the last month's episode. We're estimating they achieved a blended average price per square foot of $950, which marks another jump in Surrey, where we were reporting projects really not that long ago at $850. We have to touch on the towers by Vesta Properties, launching in early October. They received incredible interest on their North Tower, actually crashing their website when suite selections started. They reported 1,500 suite selection forms for only 280 homes, just a sheer reflection of how low inventory is in comparison to demand right now. But don't worry if you missed out on the towers, we have you covered over at Eastin. Check out the links below for Eastin located in Langley.
So let's kick things off with a review of the presale marketplace. And where better to start than our very own project Ellery by Isle of Man. We love this location. Only 22 homes, very boutique, located at 80th Avenue and 206th Street in Willoughby. It's a boutique and concrete construction product. I think that's enough said, especially for that market. Stay tuned and ensure that you're getting the daily newswire. This is going to put you in the running to make sure that you have all the access points that you need into that program.
So now let's jump onto a program that we've been keeping a really close eye on, Holland 2 by Townline. Now you'll recall back in October 2019, they actually launched their sales for the first tower, the Holland, and Townline has been incredibly active in this region. They hold a ton of brand equity, we know that, and this is the newest edition. Starting insider sales late September, early October. Their pricing is going to range from the low 400s to mid 800s. They've got a wide range of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom to 4 bedroom homes. We know that's very broad, but we'll definitely keep you up to date as we get more information on this project.
Next up, we're going to look at Ledgeview by Quadra Homes. This is the latest wood frame condominium product to launch in Surrey City Centre. After launching in early September, they sold about 70 of 156 units, so about a 45% sellout, pretty strong start. It's smaller unit sizing, which allows for one-bedroom prices to come in slightly below the Hendricks and Quinn. It's a very competitive project, and there's also 2 other projects near sold-out status that is likely to receive a lot of attention in the market. The project is currently blending, seems to be around 680 to 690 per square foot. Our thinking is that number is probably going to hold throughout the remainder of the sales cycle.
So now let's jump into Aldergrove Town Centre by Janda Group. I'm happy to report that Aldergrove has a pulse. No pun intended there. They just started sales, their first release of homes back in October, early October. The project will be located within the heart of Aldergrove's downtown core, with 4 buildings ranging from 6 to 10 stories. The sales campaign that launched this past weekend was specifically for their phase 1, which featured 59 homes, but as a whole, this project is going to bring 677 new homes to the Aldergrove community. Really excited to see, honestly, on a serious note, this amount of activity in Aldergrove.
Tremendous offering. We're really excited. I know that the residents are very excited as well. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to see that those home buyers that basically have been priced out of markets that are a little bit further east finally being offered up to them.
Okay, so it's resale o'clock. Let's dive into the September sales stats. The second highest sales volume in the board's history for the month of September. And then for inventory, we finally saw a strong increase in new listings entering into the market, 11.2% more than what we saw in August. While this is a really positive shift, we do believe that new inventory will still be outpaced by demand, which means that in total the supply decreased 6.5% in September.
And like the Greater Vancouver marketplace, Fraser Valley also saw a decline in month-over-month sales. These are falling about 10.5% from August and 16.5% from 2020. So big shifts backwards. In terms of the Fraser Valley, the composite benchmark price for September was just over $1 million at $1,083,000. That's an increase of 1.6% month over month. And all product types saw month-over-month price appreciation. Single-family detached was one of the largest, sitting at about 1.9% month-over-month improvements.
So looking at these numbers, it is interesting to see that Abbotsford and Mission see some of the strongest price appreciation year over year.
Approximately a year ago, we spoke on the episode about how those secondary markets like those would surge because we'd already seen incredible demand begin to push price point up in some of the markets that were a little bit closer to the downtown core. And to no surprise, we've seen those markets being some of the strongest performers.
So while historically less active than other submarkets within the Fraser Valley, these two markets have continued to establish themselves in both the townhouse and condo market. Both Abbotsford and Mission are relatively land rich, a lot of opportunity there, and there's tons of opportunity for multifamily projects as it is an easy way for people to get their foot into affordability.
Why don't we wrap up the episode with some sales to listing ratios, Britt?
Let's do it. So in September, we saw an overall sales to listing ratio, 49% for all product types, decreasing just slightly from August. More specifically, the sales to listing ratio was 53% for detached homes, 90% for townhomes, and 64% for condos. That townhouse sales to listing ratio is continuing to hold strong at 85% through the fall here. So what does all this mean? It means there's a lack of choice within the townhouse market. Purchasers are still willing to take what's available to just really get their foot into the market. And again, I think condos are prime for an increase here.
And that's pushing significant demand towards pre-sale townhouse and pre-sale apartments. And so, projects like Eastin, which are just about to launch in the coming weeks, there's so much interest. And a lot of that becomes not only the background that Essence has in that neighborhood, but then also thinking about the lack of supply in the marketplace. If you found some value in today's episode, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Newswire, that's a daily email roundup of the latest real estate news. Subscribers get early access to pre-sale pulse, market insights, and of course the latest projects breaking ground. You want to skip lineups like Eastin or others out in the Fraser Valley, make sure you hit those buttons. Contact us by visiting the links below. And lastly, we want to hear from you. So leave a comment. If there's any questions or any points of interest that you want us to follow up on, send us a note. We're happy to include that in next episode.
Also, if you haven't had a chance to read and watch our team's latest neighborhood spotlight on that Langley submarket, visit emilycanada.com or YouTube channel to check it out. That's a wrap.
I think we're done. We'll see you next month.